Hey, Days of Judah here. It is late and I'm tired, but I did want to come on and make this video because I have something to share. So that's a good reason. And I have something to share that I think is helpful. So I made another video previously where I talked about really thinking more and considering what it means to be a person of color, a black person. Now that I have children, and it's just true. It's something that's more on my mind, and not just like in the world and like what I'm trying to protect them from, because there's a lot of that kind of sentiment now, but also just like what am I trying to teach them, period. And I found that the route that it seems like, the Mister and I are taking at this point in time for our family is that we're just trying to show them the beauty of themselves and who they are in this world and their purpose and their, and why they have value. So for children as young as they are, I have a toddler and a baby. Right now, the way that I can think of that is the stories that we read to them. So I've been very, very conscious and just more intentional about trying to find stories that feature black children. And not necessarily, and I definitely approve and think the stories where black children are like, yes, it's so amazing to be black. It's so cool. I'm beautiful. I'm proud. I like those. But I also like stories that are just the story itself, and the characters are just the character, and they just are themselves. So, it's not like a big thing that's kind of being pounded into you. It's just their daily life. Some of those stories that I'm finding are by black authors, and some of them are not by black authors. And I thought that would bother me, but I feel like some of them are doing a job that I can appreciate, so I'm okay with that. So rather than talking more, I'm just going to show you what I've found thus far. If anyone has the Lola Reads books, I love these books. I love these books. So this is one that we have here. Lola Gets a Cat, which we probably have to read every day because we have a cat and we're teaching our little girl to try and be gentle with the cat and kind to the cat, and sometimes the cat does not want to be bothered with you. But this is a great book of a little girl, little black girl who wants to get a cat, and like learning about how she has to care for it, and when she gets it, taking care of it and loving it and being gentle and kind, but the beauty of it is the main character is a black girl. And I can't even express to you the number of times, like if I were to Google, book about child learning how to take care of pet, the vast number of things that would pop up would all, or not all, but would mostly, hands down, like 95-98% be a white child. And it's kind of frustrating when you want your child to have the opportunity to see themselves, because I realized in growing up I didn't always see myself, and even though I didn't fully process it and think about it at the time, as an adult, realizing like, why do I have these hang-ups or these why is this challenging, or why is it hard for me to be bold and be my most authentic self in this arena? And sometimes it's just because you never saw yourself out there. You never saw someone like you doing these things or just in these books. So yeah, so Lola Gets a Cat is like every day in our house. And like honestly, all of the Lola books Lola at the library. I really like this one because I'm trying to teach my daughter about, reading and education. And here's this little black girl just doing her library thing, and she's excited about it. And so we're, and this is great prep for when we actually go to the library. You know, it's springtime, so, and I'm big into gardens, so we found Lola Plants a Garden. That was a really fun one, and she's just doing her thing. And then I don't have the other book here, but our daughter, we have two, and she's a younger brother, so Lola, there's one about Lola and her mom having a baby and a younger brother, Leo. And then this, I was like, oh, we have a little boy. I need to start getting books for little black boys. And so now here's Leo Can Swim. And the nice thing with this series is it seems like the Leo books, I only have one thus far, but the Leo books are for a younger child. So if you have a dynamic like ours, like the older child is a girl and the younger child is a boy, then Lola's like a little more, it's not, these books are not, I would say, for like a baby. So they're a little further along. So our daughter's 3, and Leo, our son is, a little past 1. So he's not fully paying attention yet, but he will be soon, and this will probably be a good fit. Another book that we found, okay, I love this because my daughter is the queen. This is Mary Had a Little Glam, but why not? And what's featured on there is a little black girl that is just her most glamorous self, and she's authentically herself. And not only just as a black person, but just as a person that in her own life is striving to be authentic and to be real and to be, the truest form of herself, and trying to model that for her children. This was fun, and it plays on, obviously Mary Had a Little Lamb, and that idea, and the rhyme and the stuff like that. And the Lola and Leo books are not, as if I mentioned before, they're not by a black author, but I think she does a good job. I don't feel like I have moments where I'm like, I don't like that. Like it was cool. It was a kid having these great kid moments, and they were positive, and they featured black child. Mary Had a Little Lamb, I do believe, is by a black author. So this one was pretty cool. And then this one we just got today, Jabari Jumps, who I believe this one is also not by a black author, but it is a little boy conquering his fear of the diving board and learning how to be brave and jump. And, it features him. Okay, first off, look at these pictures. These pictures are beautiful. It's just such a vibrantly well done illustrations. I really appreciate these. And it features this little boy, and he goes to the pool with his dad and his little sister. So like these things of like, not having to beat you over the head, but like just seeing a present black father. And then in the Lola books, there's the mother and the father, and it's a family that's well and and healthy and good and all that kind of stuff. So these are the books. These are just some of the books we're getting. I've got a couple more. I posted some more in another video, but these are some of the books that we have now that honestly, as a parent, I'm excited to read them to my child. I really appreciate that these authors, whether they be white or whether they be black, have done a good job in the representation. The pictures are beautiful. I mean, I'm an artist, so I love beautiful pictures as well. Yeah, so these are things that we have. So I'm just sharing these because I think it's important to share what is good and what's working so that we can all have access to these resources. We can continue to empower um, artists and authors and people that are doing the right thing as opposed to others that are giving us headaches. But people that are doing the right thing, let's continue to say, you know, awesome job, way to go. And yeah, so these are the books that we are reading right now in our home that have been really cool, um, and that help us as parents as we're hoping to continue to educate our children, um, not only about the world but about their own sense of personal value. So I'm Days of Judah. These are some books that I found for Black children that I'm really excited about, and I hope you have a great night. See you later.